NCAA basketball totals for Friday, December 23rd. We got 3 games on the card today. Bad day yesterday. We were 1-2 on our picks. That puts us so far in the year. What are we at? 70-62 in NCAA hoops. NBA bad day in the NBA as well. Even though it was a bad day, be sure to check out that segment. Hopefully, we'll have a better day today in both segments, I hope. But yeah, 1-2 yesterday. That's not where we want to be. Anyways, for you new guys, sorry, this is where we check out totals of basketball games. This is our NCAA segment. We have our NBA segment out there as well, like I already mentioned, where we look at the total set by odds makers. We try to beat that total either over or under what odds makers set. So this is what this segment is about, and it's going to be ongoing throughout the NCAA season. Again, we have a little bit of a winning record, not great, but it's not horrible either. So anyways, I digress. Don't forget to check out SBR for all the odds, numbers, sign-up bonuses, sportsbook reviews, and the blacklist sportsbooks to avoid. That's all there at SBR. Be sure to check out our website. Let's dive into some plays here. These are a little bit out of order as far as their time, so be sure to check that out. The earliest game is Providence and Boston College. And then after that is Rutgers, Seton Hall, and Georgia and Oakland's the last game here. But I went out of order just a little bit. The first one I'm going to cover is Rutgers and Seton Hall. Rutgers having a great year so far this year. There's pretty big favorites. They're double-digit favorites, and that's kind of a rivalry. And I kind of like Rutgers to cover, even though I love Seton Hall. You know, I love what Willard does with that program. But we're talking about the totals here. Let's look at that. Right now they have it at 139.5, and I'm going to go over. Both these teams can play some defense, but I like how they can score as well, especially Seton Hall, and I think they're going to get some up-tempo going tonight, and I think they're going to score a lot. I really think they're going to get well over this 139.5. Let's look at some stats here. Rutgers having a good year so far. It's going to be a little different when they get into that Big Ten play, but so far so good. They're averaging 73.4 points per game, and they're allowing 61.3. That ranks 20th in the country, but you look at their competition, they haven't played a lot. The best team they've played so far has been Miami, in which they lost 73-61. But outside of that, they haven't played really. Who would be the next best one? Maybe DePaul. They beat DePaul by 7, but not a lot of tough competition so far this year. It gets a lot tougher today against Seton Hall. And the Pirates, they're averaging 77.5 points per game. They are at home in this one, and they're allowing 68.5. So they're 1 or 2 in scoring defense in the Big East last year. They're allowing a little bit more as far as scoring goes this year, so far at least. But it's all because they're getting up and down the floor. This is a really good Seton Hall team. And I like for these teams to get up and down. Both of them could shoot. You got Rutgers right now. They're shooting 45.2% from the floor. That's not bad at all. Over 50% on their 2-point shots. They don't shoot the 3 particularly well, averaging under 30%. Seton Hall's good defensively. Percentage-wise, they rank just outside of the top 50 in most categories. But they allow some tempo, allowing opponents to get up about 58 attempts per game. Rutgers getting up 60. Then on the other end, we got Seton Hall. They are averaging... Sorry, wrong spot. Wrong spot again. Going all over this thing. Right now we got Seton Hall. They're averaging 58.6 attempts per game. So they're giving up about what they're trying to get up per game, about the same amount as that. Rutgers, they're right there with them, about the same amount. But this is a Seton Hall team that can flat out shoot. I think they're going to put up 80 tonight. They're shooting 53.2% on their 2-point shots, and they're shooting 48.2% overall. That ranks right around the top 30 in the country. Rutgers, pretty good defensively, but again, they have not played anybody. And the best team, again, who they played so far would be Miami, and they gave up 73 to Miami. I expect them to give up more to Seton Hall tonight to get us over that 139.5. And I think Rutgers is going to be able to score enough, according to the tempo, to go ahead and keep this kind of interesting. And I think the odds makers have it right. I kind of like Rutgers getting the points, but Seton Hall could easily win this game by 15. So, I mean, if if I had to pick, I'd probably go ahead and take Rutgers. Rutgers in a lean for that one. But I like over the total. I think they're really going to get up and down. Next one up we got is Georgia and Oakland, 2 really fast teams. And this one gave me a little bit of pause. This would be my opposite play of the day. I do that sometimes where the numbers really don't add up. So I'm going to go under this total right now. It's at 141.5, and that looks way too low. Oakland never gets a total this low. They're always like 145 or above 150 and they're at home and they go really fast. They're also getting a couple points. So you might want to look at back in the Grizzlies. That's a pretty good team this year. They didn't play so great against Michigan State the other night. Georgia was great at Georgia Tech, and they have a really solid club. They could be a sleeper in the SEC, but these teams can score. So for this to be 141.5, that really makes me not like it. So I'm going to go and go under. When we look at the statistics and the scoring defense and stuff, Oakland's actually playing a little bit of defense, so it kind of makes some sense. But this is a Georgia team can score. I think that total is too low, but odds makers have it there for a reason. At least I believe. That's what I anticipate. That's why I'm going to go ahead and take under this total. It's kind of a little bit of an opposite play. I do that from time to time. About 1 out of every 5 plays, I will say, this number doesn't make sense. I'm going the other way. All right, and that's what I'm doing. Let's look at the offense right now. You got Georgia. They're averaging 71.6 points per game. And I want to talk about the shooting percentage as well. They're shooting 44.1% from the field. They're shooting over 50% of their two-point shots. And they could score. They really can. Then you got Oakland. Well, Georgia right now, they're allowing just 65.1 points per game. So now it kind of starts to make a little bit of sense. That 141 still looks too low. Oakland, they're averaging 78.7 points per game. This is an Oakland team that gets up and down the floor. They get up about 61 attempts per game, and they allow 62.3. So that's a lot. That's one of the faster tempos in the country. That ranks outside of the top 300 teams. They love to get up and down the floor. They've always been that way. Last several years, they've always been that way. And they're, that's a tough Oakland team. I really thought they were to give Michigan State a little bit more trouble, though. It was either last year or the year before where they took Michigan State to overtime. I think it was last year. That was a heck of a game. Anyways, I digress. So let's look at some more numbers here. We got Oakland. They're allowing 68 points per game, so not bad on their part. And this is an Oakland team that can score. I mean, let's look at their shooting percentages. Right now, they're shooting over 52% on their two-point shots. They're shooting 45% from the field. They're not bad, and their efficiency is pretty good. Their attempts are good. That 141.5. I mean, just look at their scoring. I mean, on scoring right now, we're at 150. So odds makers must really think the defenses are going to come to play today. Maybe it's going to be the before Christmas defense. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to back under that total, 141.5. That's probably my favorite play, I think, just because the line's a little bit off, especially with Oakland team. Any handicapper knows how fast they like to go. So this 141, that's surprising, and I'm going to go under that total. If they go lights out and they play at the tempo that they should go well over this total. But I'm going to go ahead and think odds makers are on top of this. They're getting the longer the season goes, the more numbers they're going to get, the tighter they're going to make the lines. So we're still in that kind of window where we have some good opportunities. But there's a reason why this is at 141.5. Okay, sorry, got a little bit solemn there on that. This one I just don't like it. I don't like that line. I'm going under. All right, Providence, Boston College. 139, and I'm going under this total. So I got 2 unders and 1 over. Providence can play some flat-out defense. That is a good Providence team. Let's look at some numbers here. They're averaging 71.5 points per game, Providence, but they're allowing just 58.9. That ranks 9th in the country. Boston College is terrible, and they're really going to have trouble scoring. Boston College is terrible. They are better than last year. I think they could actually win an ACC game this year. Possibly. At home. They might upset somebody, because we know last year they didn't win any. Boston College averaging 72.5 points per game, and they're allowing 72. That's not good. What I think is going to happen in this game, at that 139, both teams kind of got to contribute to that. Like that Rutgers-Seton Hall, I think Rutgers is going to contribute enough. That Georgia-Oakland game where it's just right around there, it's 141.5. It's the same thing, that 140 area. That's against the odds makers play. And this one here, I don't think Boston College is going to score enough. That's why I like under this total. We got Boston College right now. Defensively, they're not horrible. They're allowing opponents to shoot 43% from the floor. Providence has been good overall, but they're not lights out. I mean, they're shooting 45.4%. That's not bad. This is a good Providence team. They're going to be tough in the Big East this year. Boston College, they're not a tremendous shooting team. They're also shooting 44.5% from the floor. A little bit worse than Providence. But Providence defensively is what I like. Right now, they rank it like in the top 30 in opponent field goals made per game, opponent shooting efficiency, and opponent effective field goal percentage. They've been solid. They've also, they also rank third. This is the point of contention. They rank 13th in opponent three-point shooting percentage, allowing 28.2% from distance. That's Boston College's best offensive category, shooting 37.4. That actually ranks just outside the top 50. So if that's the point of contention, Boston College is going to struggle. And I really like for Providence to put the clamps down on them. I mean, you look at Providence, they're holding teams, their last several games, 59, 54, 69, 57, 60, 62. I mean, they really hold teams down. So I don't think Boston College, they're going to score maybe 58, maybe 60, something like that. And Providence is going to win this game by about 8. So I can see why odds makers have it there. But I don't think they're going to get there. Another point of contention, Providence, they shoot 39% from distance, but that's Boston College's best thing they do defensively is they allow opponents just over 30%. So I like for under this total in this one, and let's go ahead and let's just recap that. I could go, you guys know, honestly, on these videos, I got to cap it. I got to stop because I could talk for forever about these teams, and I don't want to bore you guys to death. Let's just go in. Let's just get to the guts of it. We got Rutgers, Seton Hall over the 139.5. I think both teams are going to contribute. I think Seton Hall puts up 80. Georgia and Oakland under the 141.5. That's an against the odds makers play. Pay attention to that line. That line should go up, but so you might want to wait. I'll be surprised if it goes down, but I like under that 141.5. Providence, Boston College, and also don't forget the time order of these are out of place. These are how I just wrote them down. Usually I'm time ordered, but just not today. Providence, Boston College under the 139, in which I don't think Boston College is going to score enough to get there. Those are our 3 NCAA picks. And don't forget, check out our NBA segment. And also, tomorrow's going to be a day off for basketball. That's Christmas Eve, so enjoy your time with your family and, watch a little bit of football. So we're going to take a day off of basketball tomorrow. We'll be back on it for Christmas as I enjoy time with my family, and I hope you enjoy time with your family during this Christmas time, this holiday season, and I wish you luck on your picks today.